Hello there you guys, welcome to another of my live videos, and today I'm just going to be officially updating you on some more current latest news. So if you do consider dropping likes, and if you do consider subscribe to the channel as always. So now reports are coming out, I think now that Jadon Sancho's transfer, could have taken a dramatic twist reportedly, because now a lot of Manchester United fans now are convinced that Jadon Sancho's summer transfer is back on, after it has been officially announced today that Borussia Dortmund have completed two signings. They've signed Thorgan Hazard from Borussia Mönchengladbach on a 5-year deal, and they have also signed Julian Brandt. So now some Manchester United fans do believe that this Jadon Sancho summer transfer is back on. So they do believe he'll leave Borussia Dortmund and he will come to Manchester United, Jadon Sancho. But obviously we do know he's been the club's he had been the club's number one priority target, for a very, very long time, Jadon Sancho. But I think it did initially say that Jadon Sancho is intending on staying with Borussia Dortmund at least for another season. And I think from Borussia Dortmund's perspective, they're convinced that Jadon Sancho will stay. But I think our current, with us failing to get into the Champions League for next season, I think this is what made it, unlikely, for Manchester United to get a deal over the line for Jadon Sancho. And obviously, a player of Jadon Sancho's calibre, wants to be in Champions League football. But I still believe he's intending on spending at least another season with Borussia Dortmund. Manchester United, of course, were willing to pay his £100 million valuation, of course, because we have got the financial power to meet his valuation. So he was the club's number one priority target, for a very, very long time. Primarily plays on the wing, can also, play centrally, Jadon Sancho, but primarily plays on the wing. Only 19 years of age, has had a good couple of seasons with Borussia Dortmund. But now, a lot of Manchester United fans feel that now this summer transfer, could be back on, because obviously, Borussia Dortmund have completed two signings, and I think they are currently both winners. So now, actually, Jadon Sancho, could be a surplus to requirements now, and he could find game time very, very difficult going on into next season. So this is maybe the main factor reason why now quite a few Manchester United fans believe he could be departing Borussia Dortmund this summer. But I do really, really like him, and I think if Jadon Sancho, came back to the Premier League, I think it would help him with his developing process. I think it would create a better platform for him, and it would take his career to the next level, Jadon Sancho's. And, Man United have been linked to him for a very long time. Obviously, still under contract with Borussia Dortmund until 2022, and obviously looking at it from a financial point of view, from a Borussia Dortmund perspective, they can make a huge profit on the player, because obviously they got him next to note, a couple of years ago. I think they paid around £7 or £8 million for him for Manchester City. But I do really, really like Jadon Sancho, but I still think he's convinced that he's going to be, staying at Borussia Dortmund for another season. But I think Jadon Sancho has got strong reservations about coming to Manchester United, because obviously, we're a toxic club at the moment, and our club is in crisis. So I think he has got reservations about coming to Manchester United, even though Man United are willing to pay his £100 million valuation. But we definitely need a winger, and that's one of the areas, where Manchester United are lacking. And you can see the deficiencies in the squad, and we've got to resolve these problems in the summer. So now is this Jadon Sancho, with Borussia Dortmund, getting these two signings in, has it taken a dramatic twist in the Jadon Sancho, speculation, could he be on his way out of Borussia Dortmund? But as you all know, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has worked out his transfer strategy for this summer. Obviously, he did say he'd been in quite a few meetings, discussing about our recruitment this summer, and he does want to bring a number of young players in, that can grow, develop, and emulate into superstars. And Solskjaer did say towards the back end of the season, that he had been contacted by a number of agents, saying that their players wanted to come to Manchester United. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, still believes we can get players to the elite level, even though we're not in a Champions League football for next season. But there's lots to sort out this summer. We're getting a spending spree of around £250 million. We're looking to bring at least 5 new additions to the club. We're also expected to orchestrate a big summer clear out. But as I did say, I think we're at least 3 or 4 years off, from mounting any kind of title challenge up. And I do believe in the next couple of seasons, our aspirations is going to be fighting for that top 4. But at the moment, City are strides ahead of us, Liverpool are strides ahead of us, and we've got to spend this summer and we've got to get the right recruitment, because analysing our recruitment policy is extremely very, very poor. But I think the likes of Arsenal are going to spend this summer, City are going to spend probably this summer, Liverpool are going to spend this summer, so we have to spend this summer, of course. But as I did say, it's not always about getting them Galacticos store players. It's not all about spending big on players, because we do know we have, these clubs have got an history of spending big on players, and it doesn't always guarantee you success. Doesn't always get you in that commanding position, where you do currently want to be. But as I did say, we didn't get anyone in January. We didn't get as number one priority targets last summer, because obviously reflecting back last summer, obviously the board. Obviously, the board, were back in the signings that Jose Mourinho wanted to recommend to come in. So, yeah, we've got to get the right players to Manchester United this summer. But now, Jadon Sancho, summer move, could be actually potentially back on now that Borussia Dortmund have confirmed the signing of these two winners. So, I really, really hope it is. But I think the main factor reason why it said that Man United have missed out on Jadon Sancho, because obviously we failed to get in Champions League football for next season. So, it could still possibly be on. Manchester United fans are convinced it is back on now, because Borussia Dortmund have confirmed these two signings, and it was actually announced today. So Jadon Sancho to Manchester United could still be potentially on, which is very, very good news. And as I updated you earlier on in regards of what's going on to David De Gea, obviously it did say he has turned down a final contract offer as De Gea, so looking likely now he will be leaving Manchester United this summer. I don't think now the club are intending on getting a replacement for De Gea. I don't think we're willing to spend big on a goalkeeper, to replace De Gea. I think if De Gea is to leave the club this summer, I think we are set to, I think we are set to make Sergio Romero our number one goalkeeper. But as I did say, David De Gea has been heavily linked with a move to PSG. I think PSG are preparing to put a bid in for him of around £60 million. But obviously would want to cash in for De Gea this summer, rather than letting go on a free transfer next year, because that would be a calamity, if we did let David De Gea go on a free transfer. But I think, PSG initially were intending on, getting David De Gea on a free transfer. So in that aspect, they could maybe offer him a bigger salary. But I do believe if De Gea leaves, he's going to be making the move to Paris Saint-Germain. It did say, Man United have been in talks for quite a while now, to try and convince, David De Gea to sign a new contract. It did reportedly say that David De Gea is demanding around £350,000 a week, but reportedly Manchester United are not willing to meet his wage demands, of course. And obviously we do know that David De Gea is worth more than £60 million. I think at full value for the goalkeeper, he's worth around £100 million, is David De Gea. But obviously, look, he's only got a year left on his contract, so we're not going to get £100 million for him. But he's been fantastic servant to the club. He's been here 8 years as David De Gea. He has made over 300 appearances in all competitions. He's won everything here domestically with Manchester United as De Gea, and he hasn't really done much wrong, in this 8-year period. Okay, towards the back end of the season, he was making, quite a few costly mistakes, was De Gea, but I think that was mainly, to do with the contractual situation. But Man United have been in talks, for a very, very long time, to try and convince him to sign a new contract. But yeah, and we do know that Real Madrid have also, been long admirers of him. Obviously, reflecting back in 2015, Real Madrid were on the verge of getting him, but due to a fax machine, a deal currently never materialised, of course. So yeah, looking like that David De Gea is going to be on his way out of the club. But as I said, we can get around £60 million for him. We can get £70 million for him. But I don't think now, according to Daily Mail, we're intending on actually, getting a replacement for De Gea. I think we are willing to let, Sergio Romero become our number one goalkeeper for next season. I don't know if I don't think Sergio Romero is reliable enough as yet to become our number one goalkeeper. So for my preference, I do believe if De Gea leaves, we're going to need a replacement for him. And this has been another problem with Manchester United. We've been letting far too many players contracts run down. Obviously, Juan Mata, he's coming to an end of his contract. Rashford, he's only got a year left on his deal. We've not come to an agreement to get him a new contract yet. Obviously, we've let Ander Herrera go on a free transfer. So, we've been letting far too many players contracts run down, and that has been currently an issue. But yeah, if De Gea leaves, we're going to need a replacement for him. And talking about Romero, I think he did very, very, very well in the FA Cup this season with us, don't get me wrong, but I don't think he's reliable enough, to become our number one goalkeeper. Obviously, we've got the likes of Dean Henderson. I don't think he's really got the experience yet. Obviously, Dean Henderson has been on loan at Sheffield United. Obviously, we've got the likes of Lee Grant, but I can see him leaving in the summer. Lee Grant, obviously, we got him from Stoke, last summer. But yeah, I still think we need a replacement for David De Gea. As you all know, in the last couple of days, there has been a lot of talks, going on about, Andrea Onana, that Ajax goalkeeper. He has been on Manchester United's agenda, and we've identified him as a replacement for David De Gea. He's an Ajax goalkeeper. He has had 3 years worth of experience as Ajax's starting goalkeeper as Adria Onana. Don't really know much about him. I know he's very, very young. He's only 23 years of age. I think Ajax rate him at around, 35 or 40 million pounds, but it did initially say that Manchester United had a 35 million pound bid turned down for him, so we've identified him as a possible replacement. Obviously, going back 3 or 4 weeks ago, there was a lot of talks about Jadon Sancho from Atletico Madrid. It did say Man United were willing to trigger his £100 million buyout clause, Jadon Sancho, and I really, really like Jadon Sancho. I wouldn't put him in the same calibre or level to as De Gea, but I still think he's very, very good. He's 26 years of age. I think throughout the course of this season, it has only been Liverpool's Alisson that has kept as many clean sheets as Jadon Sancho. Obviously, Jadon Sancho obviously hasn't been in the Premier League yet in his career, but he has been at Atletico Madrid 5 seasons. As Jadon Sancho obviously is a former Benfica player, but I think he recently signed a new deal. Was it back in April? And I think he got his buyout clause increased, and he did sign this new contract. So I think he's under contract now with Atletico Madrid till 2023. But very, very good shot stopper, very, very good goalkeeper. Doesn't concede a lot of goals. So yeah, very, very good at keeping a clean sheet. So we've identified him as a possible replacement for David De Gea. Obviously, in the past, he has been talks about Everton's Jordan Pickford. Very, very good in the World Cup last summer with England. But I think he's going to probably initially cost you around £60 million. Is Jordan Pickford. Got a contract with Everton until 2024. Obviously, I think Everton paid around £25 million from Sunderland. Was it a couple of seasons ago? So there has been quite a few goalkeepers mentioned, who could replace David De Gea. But now I think there's been a change of plan, and I think now we're willing to make Sergio Romero our #1 goalkeeper for next season, of course, if David De Gea does currently depart. So that's the latest news to update on that. And according to reports as well, I think the captaincy at Manchester United next season will be currently given to Ashley Young. I think, again, bad judgment for Manchester United, because obviously we know that Valencia is leaving the club. So I think now the captain's armband is going to be given to Ashley Young. Well, initially it did say yesterday, or was it the day before, in the media, saying that Manchester United, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Manchester United, were willing to offer Paul Pogba the captain's armband, in a bid, to convince him to stay at Manchester United. But now reportedly there has been a change of scenery, and I think now Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is only willing to offer Paul Pogba the vice captaincy role, of course. And I don't think this is obviously going to be enough, to persuade Paul Pogba, to stay at Manchester United. But what leadership have Ashley Young and Paul Pogba shown? Because obviously they are the two favourite candidates, to become captains, of course. So I think Ashley Young's set to get the armband, and obviously Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is willing to offer Paul Pogba the vice captaincy. And but they haven't shown any leadership whatsoever. Young needs to go in the summer, but he's not going to go easy. He's still going to be next season. Is Ashley Young? Obviously, Ashley Young's been here 8 years now at Manchester United. Reflecting back when he was young, he did really, really well. Did Ashley Young? He was a really, really good winner. But now he's past his sell-by date. He's too old. He's nearly 34 years of age now. Is Ashley Young? Is he nearly 34 years of age? By the time that 1 year extension expires, he'll be nearly 35 years of age. And it was bad business for Manchester United, giving him that new 1 year extension. So it has been confirmed that the captaincy at Manchester United next season will be given to Ashley Young, and reportedly Paul Pogba has been offered the vice captaincy, so like a deputy role is being currently offered. But this won't be enough to convince Paul Pogba to stay. Now, according to reports, we want around £138 million for Paul Pogba, so we have lowered it. We have currently lowered what we initially asked for before, because initially I think we wanted around 150 or 160 million pounds for Pogba, but obviously Real Madrid are reluctant to pay that. But obviously we do know Paul Pogba's been on Real Madrid's agenda for quite a while now, at least in the last 3 or 4 weeks. Paul Pogba's agent Raiola has been in the process to try and secure his move to Real Madrid. Obviously Paul Pogba has got 3 years left on his contract with Manchester United. I think it did come out saying that Man United have been in negotiations, to try and get Paul Pogba a new contract. It came out a while back saying that Paul Pogba was demanding around £500,000 a week for Manchester United if he currently was to sign a new contract. And Paul Pogba, obviously he's our most expensive signing. Of course, we paid £89 million for him. And let's be honest, he hasn't really exceeded expectation levels at Manchester United as we thought he would have done, reflecting back, what he did at Juventus, because he had 4 great years with Juventus, before he came back to Manchester United. But we've seen glimpses of his best form, and, we mainly saw it in that 3-month period when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was the interim manager. And that's when we mainly saw the best of Pogba. And we mainly saw the best out of Paul Pogba, when obviously, Ander Herrera was currently playing. So that just emphasised how much of an impact Ander Herrera made in that midfield. So yeah, and he used to field the likes of Pogba. That's when Pogba was expressing himself, scoring goals, and he was providing, and he was in absolutely scintillating form, of course. But at least in Pogba's last 7 or 8 games, his performances have been way below par. And yeah, so I do believe we can get around 120 or 130 million pounds for Pogba. But that's going to help us with our transition. It will help us with our rebuilding process. Maybe one of the main reasons why, Paul Pogba, of course, maybe doesn't want to be at Manchester United, because maybe he wants to go to a competitive elite level football club, wants to be in Champions League football, wants to be winning trophies, and obviously he's not getting this at Manchester United. And maybe another reason is because he wants to play amongst better players, and he's probably obviously not getting this at Manchester United. Paul Pogba, obviously he was heavily linked to a move to away from Manchester United last year, based on his poor relationship with Jose Mourinho. As you well know, he had a really poor relationship with Jose Mourinho, so that's why there was speculation of him leaving last year. His former club Juventus were in for him. Obviously, Barcelona was also interested in Paul Pogba. But yeah, I still believe he's currently going to be making his move to Real Madrid. I think initially Paul Pogba is willing to take a pay cut to make his move to Madrid, because I think he was demanding around 13 million a year. That was his current wage demands. But obviously, them wage demands did not fit in with Real Madrid's wage structure, and Real Madrid, of course, were not willing to meet his current wages. So I think now Paul Pogba will currently have to take a pay cut. But obviously, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, when he managed the Manchester United reserve team, he watched some of this team at this day and age grow and develop, and of course, one of them was Paul Pogba, and they've built a great relationship together. But I think most recently reports have said that Paul Pogba and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's relationship is slowly fading. So I do believe he's intending on leaving the club, is Paul Pogba, and I do believe he's going to be currently going to Real Madrid. So obviously now we're going to need a replacement for Pogba, and we're around 130 million pounds. We could get currently 2 players with that money. But as I did currently say, I think Bruno Fernandes, would be the right replacement for Paul Pogba, in my opinion. I really like Bruno Fernandes, and obviously he's been on Manchester United's agenda, for quite some time now, as Bruno Fernandes. It did initially say Sporting Lisbon want around £60 million for him. They don't want around £60 million for him. His initial release clause is around 85, or is it £86 million. He's also been on Manchester City's agenda. But I do believe if he came to the Premier League, he would produce and deliver, the same element of the performances that he has been doing in his couple of seasons with Sporting Lisbon. So he's tied up in Portugal really well, and I do believe he's got the capabilities, he's got the attributes, to succeed in the Premier League, and he definitely exceed expectation levels in the Premier League, with Bruno Fernandes. But Man United have been scouting, for a very long time now, based on his fantastic performances. He is primarily an attacking midfielder. He's only 24 years of age. He has still got a lot of years ahead of him as Bruno Fernandes. So I do really like him. He has got a contract with Sporting Lisbon until 2023. Obviously had a lot of experience playing in Italy when he was younger with the likes of Sampdoria and underneath. But other week it did say Manchester City were in for him. It said City were in talks, with Sporting Lisbon over a deal worth around 47 million for Bruno Fernandes, and it did say City were willing to offer 1 or 2 of their players as part of the deal. And then it initially said Manchester City adopted him out of the race, but he is still on Manchester United's agenda, and I do really like him. So I think we need depth in that midfield, we need creativeness in that midfield, and we need goals in that midfield. And I do believe that Bruno Fernandes, would be currently the right solution. And as I've updated you today, now in regards to Real Madrid's Isco, as I updated you on my previous video I did this morning. Now it's saying that Manchester United and Manchester City are interested in Isco, and I think we're waiting. Both teams are waiting for the decision on Isco's future. I think it also said that PSG had also expressed their interest in Isco. Now, obviously, I think Real Madrid could, actually, offload Isco, of course, because obviously, they want to get some, they want to get some new arrivals. rivals in the Real Madrid. Obviously, they're working on getting Paul Pogba in. Obviously, with Eden Hazard as well. That's obviously linked with Real Madrid. But I think players are expected to leave Real Madrid this summer, as you all know. Obviously, Bale's obviously one of them. There was recent talks about Raphael Varane, but obviously now Raphael Varane's committed to Real Madrid. He said he's confirmed as Raphael Varane. He will be at Real Madrid next season, as Raphael Varane has confirmed. But talking about Isco, I don't know how he'd fit in our system, to be quite honest with you. I think he's a really, really good player. He's Isco, don't get me wrong. He's an attacking midfielder, I think. He is now 27 years of age, I think he is. He's still got a lot of development in him as Isco. He's going to probably cost you around £100 million, maybe more than £100 million, if Real Madrid, do decide, to currently offload Isco. But I do really, really like him. As I said, he's 27 years of age. Obviously, so far, he has spent the entirety of his career in Spain. Obviously, he has been at Real Madrid since 2013 as Isco. I think he's gone on to make 277 appearances. I think he's won quite a lot of trophies with Real Madrid, including 4 Champions League titles. But yeah, so I think Real Madrid, could be keen on offloading Isco, but I don't see how he'd currently fit our system at Manchester United. To be quite honest with you, obviously, I think Real Madrid obviously paid around £27 million for him from Malaga back in 2017. Sorry, not 2017, 2013. So yeah, he has spent the entirety of his career in Spain, but I do believe he's got all the capabilities and the attributes, to succeed in the Premier League. If he was to come to the Premier League, Isco. But yeah, there has been a lot of talks about him actually, going on in the media today. So Real Madrid, could offload him, to make room for more new arrivals, including Pogba, Eden Hazard, and that. So there has been a lot of talks about Isco currently going on. And but I'd rather spend that £100 million on Joe Felix, from Benfica. If I'm going to be quite honest with you, Joe Felix has got a hell of a lot of development in him. Of course, Joe Felix as well is a lot younger than Isco. Obviously, Isco's a lot more experienced, of course, but Joe Felix is a lot younger. And I do believe that Joe Felix, would be the right solution for Manchester United. Obviously, as reports were emerging out the other day, saying that Man United yet again had instructed scouts, to keep a close eye out on him, and Man United scouts have been watching him on a regular basis, based on his fantastic performances. And and he did say Man United have opened up talks to sign Joe Felix, so we've stepped up our interest in the player. And now it did say Man United are prepared to pay his £100 million buyout clause. But yeah, Man United have been linked with him for months. I think quite a few other clubs have been interested. I think Liverpool had a bid turned down for him in January. I think City have been in for him. Real Madrid, of course, have been in for him. So there's quite a few teams after him. I do believe he can become one of the best players in the world, Joe Felix. I do believe this. I don't think he can emulate into like a Ronaldo or a Messi or a Neymar, but I think he can become one of the best in the world. And I do believe if he came to the Premier League, he would take his career to the next level. And and I think he would definitely exceed expectation levels in the Premier League. But this has only been his first season in the senior squad with Benfica. He's yet to make his senior debut for Portugal, but only 19 years of age. Only 19 years of age, and I'd like Bruno Fernandes and Joe Felix, but I don't see us getting both players, and I think it did reportedly say that would cost us around £150 million. Joe Felix is primarily an attacking midfielder. He can play as a winner, he can also play as a striker, and that, so he's very, very versatile. And I do believe he'd bring them goals that we need at Manchester United. He'd also, get them assists, so I do really, really like Joe Felix. So we have currently stepped up our interest in the player, and so been a lot of talks about him going on. And as I did say, Manchester United need a right back, and obviously there's been a lot of talks about Crystal Palace's Wan-Bissaka. As you all know, we need a replacement for Valencia. We need an upgrade to Ashley Young, and we need a covered up for Diego Dalot. And I do believe Wan-Bissaka would be the right solution. I think he's now regarded as one of the best right backs in the Premier League. Obviously, his defensive capabilities are very, very good. Only very, very young, only 21 years of age. Wan-Bissaka. I think now recent reports have said Crystal Palace want around 60 million or 70 million pounds for Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka has got 3 years left on his contract with Crystal Palace. He's had about 14, 15 15 months now worth of experience in Crystal Palace's senior squad, because obviously, you know, he only got into Crystal Palace's first team back in February of 2018. He down Wan-Bissaka, but I do believe he'd be the right solution for Manchester United. Obviously, he's one of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's prime targets, so I do believe he'd be a great upgrade in that fullback position. But I think the fullback positions have been a problem for Manchester United at least in the last couple of seasons. But I think on that left-hand side we're okay. I think Luke Shaw's very, very reliable. I think he's very, very reliable. He hasn't done much wrong as a Manchester United player. So on that left-hand side I think we're okay. But we definitely, you know, do currently need a right back. And I do believe, you know, that Wan-Bissaka, you know, would be the right player. And obviously we need a central defender, you know, someone that can go alongside Victor Lindelof in our backline, as you all know. Obviously more reports have come out about De Ligt, you know, from Ajax. Obviously, you know, he's been on Manchester United's agenda as De Ligt. And now, obviously, we know that Barcelona are a monster, the favourites, you know, to currently sign De Ligt from Ajax. Barcelona are a monster, the favourites. Obviously, I think, you know, De Ligt has made an admission, and I think his preferred destination is Barcelona, you know, De Ligt. Because I think the main factor reason why he wants to go to Barcelona, because obviously he wants to reunite with his teammate Frenkie de Jong. Obviously, you know, Barcelona have already confirmed that, you know, they've agreed the fee with Ajax, you know, Frenkie de Jong. I think the fee was around, was it 65 or was it 75 million pounds? But I really, really like De Ligt, and he's attracted interest from my club, Manchester United. Obviously, we do know that Liverpool have been linked to him, and I think the main reason why Liverpool, you know, were interested in, you know, De Ligt, because obviously they've got Virgil van Dijk. You know, Virgil van Dijk and De Ligt know each other really, really well. Obviously, you know, they're both Dutch, they're both playing the Netherlands national team, of course, and I think this is the main reason why Liverpool were interested. Liverpool did hold negotiations with De Ligt over the summer transfer from Ajax, but looking at it now, I think he's going to be making the move to Barcelona. It hasn't been finalised as yet, but I think, you know, according from his own perspective, he wants to go to Barcelona. I think he's initially valued at around 65 million pounds is De Ligt, so obviously he's not going to become cheap, of course, because he has become an integral part of Ajax's squad. Obviously now he's had 3 years worth of experience in their first team as De Ligt. Obviously so far he has spent the entirety of his career with Ajax, of course, obviously being an Ajax player, you know, since a child as De Ligt, and he's progressing up the ranks fantastically well. But you know, De Ligt, you know, can leave Ajax on a high. Obviously, you know, he's won the domestic double with them this season, you know, including the Eredivisie title for the first time in 5 years. Obviously progressed them to the Champions League semi-final. Also scored in the Champions League semi-final, did De Ligt, but he's only 19 years of age. He's got a lot of development in him, and I do believe if he comes to England or he goes to Spain, it will definitely, you know, take his career to the next level. So yeah, I do really, really like him. Obviously, we do know Manchester United have also, you know, been in for him, but yeah, I think he's going to be going to Barcelona. But, you know, talking about De Ligt, I think he became more of a first team starter, you know, when, you know, when Tottenham, when Ajax let Jadon Sancho, you know, go to Tottenham back in 2017, and that's when he became more in the team, you know, did De Ligt. But his performances have been fantastic, and I do believe he'd be a great leader in our backline alongside Victor Lindelof, of course. So I don't think we're going to get a deal over the line for De Ligt. Obviously, we do know the club's #1 priority target now is obviously, you know, Napoli's Koulibaly. Obviously, you know, Koulibaly has been on Manchester United's agenda now for some time. Obviously, reports coming out from Italy the other day, saying that Manchester United had a £95 million bid, you know, turned down for Koulibaly. And I do really, really like Koulibaly. He's regarded as one of the best centre-backs in the world, and this is what, you know, basically, you know, Carlo Ancelotti had said. I don't think he's the best in the world, but I definitely think, you know, he's one of the best in the world. But he's got all the capabilities and all the attributes, you know, to succeed in the Premier League, of course. And he's highly experienced. He's 27. He's nearly 28 years of age, but he's good in the air. You know, he's good in the air. He's, you know, he holds his line very, very well. His distribution's really, really good. And I do really, really like Koulibaly. And he did initially say that it's going to take a world transfer record, you know, fee from Manchester United, you know, to have any chances of getting Koulibaly. But recently we had a £95 million bid turned down. It probably may have to take a bid of around 120 or 130 million pounds from us, you know, to try and convince, you know, Napoli to sell him. But obviously, reflecting back, was it last year? You know, we had 3 bids turned down for him. I think a £95 million bid was turned down last year. Obviously, we started the process with the speculation with Koulibaly entirely when Jose Mourinho was here, because that's when we first linked to him last year, when of course Jose Mourinho was in charge. But obviously, as I said, the board weren't back in the signings Jose Mourinho wanted to bring in last summer, and obviously our priority, of course, was to get a current centre back in. But he has been on our agenda for quite some time. I think he'd blend in very, very well alongside Lindelof in our backline with Koulibaly, and we need a world-class central defender, because looking at it, we haven't had a world-class central defender. We haven't had a world-class central defender since we had the likes, Vidic and Ferdinand. So yeah, we've definitely got to address that. But Koulibaly's been at Napoli 5 seasons. I think he's made over 200 appearances in all competitions. Obviously, he's got a contract with them until 2023. But yeah, the rumours do continue to position linking, Koulibaly, with a move to Manchester United. But I think the most essential thing is this summer, any signings we do make, I think they've got to fit the culture and the history of the club, because you can see we've got cultural problems at the moment. Obviously, we do know the club are still looking to hire a director of footballing, because we do need a structural change at the club, and as I just said, that's getting a director of footballing. Obviously, you do know there's been quite a few candidate names mentioned, but it would be ideal, to recommend someone to come in, who's obviously, got the experience, someone who, of course, who knows the culture of the club and that. So that would be very, very essential. We've got to get this director of footballing before the start of next season, because obviously, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is going to need backing this summer. And so there's a lot of central defenders on our agenda. There's been talks about Tottenham's Toby Alderweireld, and looking at it from a financial point of view, he's a much cheaper alternative to the likes of the De Ligt, the Harry Maguires, and the Koulibalys and all that. He's Toby Alderweireld, but I don't think we're intending on bringing him in, because obviously Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has made it clear. I don't think he's intending on bringing any short-term players to the club. And obviously, Alderweireld now he's 30 years of age, and he's lost that yard of pace. I have now got strong reservations about him. And don't get me wrong, he's got quite a lot of years now of experience under his belt in the Premier League, and he has done really, really well with Tottenham as Alderweireld. But we know he's available for £25 million this summer, because that's obviously his release clause. But I don't think Man United are intending on bringing Toby Alderweireld in. So there's a lot of central defenders, of course, on our agenda, and I probably believe that we do need two central defenders. Smalling and Jones, they've been 2 long-serving players at the club. Smalling's been here 9 seasons. Jones has been obviously here 8 seasons, and I think they need to go. And it was a bad mistake for Manchester United, giving them new long-term contracts. But as I said, comparing Jones and Smalling, I do think Jones and Smalling, I think Smalling is a better defender than Phil Jones, but I think they need to be gone next season, but I don't think they currently will. So definitely Jones and Smalling will still be at Manchester United next season. Talking about Eric Bailly, he may not be, because I think, he burst into the scenes when he first came into the Premier League, Eric Bailly, but I think, with his fallout with managers, with his injuries he has sustained, I think it's really it's taken a bad effect on Eric Bailly's career. I think we are looking to recoup the initial £30 million. We did pay for him in 2016 from Villarreal, and I think there's been a couple of teams interested in Eric Bailly, but I think we do currently need to get rid of him, because obviously he's too injury prone. We can also cash in for the likes of Rojo, we can cash in for Darmian, which is very, very good, and we could get around £30 million for them. But we are expected to orchestrate a big summer clear out. I do believe we need the centre defensive midfielder, centre defensive midfielder, that's faster and tenacious. Because I think the likes of, obviously, Matic isn't trustworthy enough. Matic is aging up. I've got strong reservations about him. He's too slow, too ineffective in that midfield, and I do believe we need a CDM that's faster and tenacious, of course. And obviously, Fellaini left back in January, so that's a position where Manchester United need to strengthen up. And in the last couple of days, there has been a lot of talks about Thomas Partey from Atletico Madrid, and he's available for reasonable figure. I think it reportedly said that he has got a release clause of around £43 million in his contract with Atletico Madrid. He's 25 years of age. He has spent the majority of his career with Atletico Madrid as this Thomas Partey. He's also expressed interest from Arsenal, but I think he's a central defensive midfielder. That's his position. But I don't really know much about him, but I know he's 25, so he has still got a lot of years ahead of him. But Manchester United and Arsenal have expressed their interest in Thomas Partey, but as I said, I don't really know much about him. But it did initially say, that Man United are willing to trigger his £43 million release clause in his contract over Atletico Madrid. So we could identify him as a good replacement for Ander Herrera. So there has been a lot of talks about him going on at least in the last couple of days. And give you an update on in regards to Swansea City's Daniel James, because obviously it's looking likely now that Daniel James is going to be our first signing for this summer. So according to BBC Sport, Manchester United are in talks, with Swansea about Daniel James. It did say Daniel James has agreed personal terms with Manchester United. I don't think the fee has yet been agreed. I thought the fee had currently been agreed, but according to BBC Sport, the fee has obviously not been agreed yet. So I would presume that Man United are in talks, about what fee, what Man United. I think Man United will be in talks, what fee, of course, will currently have to pay. But I do believe the initial fee will be around £15 million. Maybe if add-ons are included, it might rise to £20 million. But yeah, Daniel James, as you all know, is a surprise solution. Is a low expectation, but the question is, has he got the ability? Has he got the minerals, to make it to the highest level, Daniel James? Because obviously he hasn't played to the highest level yet. Obviously, Daniel James is a championship player, and it did say, Brighton had come in right at the final hurdle, for Daniel James. But I think, from Daniel James' perspective, his preferred destination, of course, is Manchester United. So according to the BBC Sport, a fee has not yet been currently agreed, but I do believe it will probably be around £15 million. Obviously, the stories broke out about this the other week, saying that Man United were close to agreeing a deal for Daniel James for around £15 million. He's still got a year left on his deal with Swansea. I think he's played 30-odd games this season for Swansea is Daniel James. He primarily plays as a winner. He's supposed to be more effective from that left-hand side. Can play as an attacking mid, but primarily a winner. And I've got reservations about him, don't get me wrong, Daniel James. He's not very, very good in the air. When it comes to his defensive abilities, I've got concerns about him. But in terms of attacking intent, he's very, very good. He's really, really fast on the ball. He's good at cutting in from the flank. So that's very, very good. And I think the likes of Everton were interesting. Obviously, Leeds were on the brink of getting a deal over the line for Daniel James back in January, but obviously Swansea had pulled out of the deal right at the final hurdle, and I hope he can come to Manchester United and exceed expectations, but I don't know if he got the attributes to do that, and I have got some concerns about it, but I do know he's very, very fast. He's only 21 years of age. He's a Welsh international, and he has still got a lot of years ahead of him. But looking at it from a financial point of view, he is a cheap he's a cheap alternative is Daniel James. So yeah, still looking likely he's going to be currently our first signing. Give you an update in regards to Juan Mata, as I currently did yesterday. Now reportedly Rafa Benitez is currently interested in signing Juan Mata. It still remains to be. I think it's still. It's a debate, whether, Rafael Benitez is going to be at Newcastle next season or not, but I think he wants to currently sign Juan Mata. Obviously, Rafa Benitez is keen on reuniting with the player, because obviously, Juan Mata played under Rafael Benitez, at Chelsea, of course. And, and I'd love Juan Mata, to stay for another season, Manchester United at least. He's been a great, great servant to the club, he's been very, very consistent. I know now that Juan Mata, of course, obviously, doesn't even get in the team now. Obviously, he's become a squad player. Looking at his age, he's 31 years of age. He has lost that yard of pace as Juan Mata. So reporting now, Newcastle are interested in signing him. I think we've tried to convince him, to sign a new 1-year extension. Juan Mata. Obviously, we're not going to be willing to offer him a long-term contract. Looking at his age, he's 31 years of age. But Mata's been here 5 seasons. He has made over 200 odd appearances in all competitions as Juan Mata. He's done really, really well. He's had years of experience under his belt in the Premier League. All in all, he's been in the Premier League about 8 years. Obviously, when he was younger, he had 2.5, 3 years there with Chelsea. But it's also said that Barcelona are in for Juan Mata, and it did say Barcelona are in talks to get him on a free transfer. Maybe from Juan Mata's perspective, maybe he wants to make a return back to Spain, because obviously he's Spanish himself. Obviously began his career in Spain and had a lot of experience of playing in Spain when he was younger with the likes of Real Madrid and Valencia, Juan Mata. But maybe Newcastle try to convince him to go there, so he can continue, applying his trade in the Premier League, Juan Mata. But yeah, he's been absolutely fantastic. So from my own perspective, do I think he'll go? I'm not too sure yet, to be quite honest, but I think Man United did say Man United were willing to offer him a new 1-year extension. But as I did currently say, talking about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I'm still backing him at the moment. Got to give him the summer to spend money. See who we can bring in, of course. Because obviously, reflecting back when he was the interim manager, everything was going right. The results were good. The performances were good. He was getting the best out of these group of players, and them expectation levels were currently exceeded. He exceeded expectation levels. It's just since he's got the job permanently, it's just seemed to have currently all gone wrong. But if this bad run of form does continue to persist going on into next season, then I will be critical of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, then I will want him out. But as I did say, we haven't got the structure, to keep sacking managers, because obviously, we've sacked 3 managers, since, Sir Alex Ferguson has retired, and we haven't got the structure, to keep sacking managers. I know a lot of money has been spent at the club, since Alex Ferguson retired. I think we spent like £700 million. We've had different managers with different philosophies, but looking at it, none of this squad is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's, so he is still in the process of rebuilding. So yeah, let's see who he can bring in to the club. But like I said, I do believe in the next couple of seasons, our aspirations is going to be fighting for that top 4, as I think you are all aware of. And so we'll currently see what happens. But the main part of this video was to give you an update on, in regards of what's going on with Jadon Sancho. Quite a lot of Manchester United fans now are convinced that that Jadon Sancho's summer move, could be back on, because obviously today Borussia Dortmund have confirmed the signing of Thorgan Hazard. They have confirmed the signing of Julian Brandt. So now I think Manchester United fans are convinced, that his move to Old Trafford, could be currently back on. I don't think it probably will be now, because I think Jadon Sancho is still intending on staying with Borussia Dortmund at least for another season. But obviously with these 2 winners coming in, he could find game time very, very difficult, Jadon Sancho. So anyway, guys, drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do consider subscribing, as always, and take care, God bless, and I'll see you all again very, very soon. Thanks for watching.